Oh, it's going to prepare. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never done Zoom to YouTube before, so
That's
yay.
nice. It makes it a lot easier. Oh, right to YouTube. Okay. Have you done Facebook before?
No, is the Zoom on to Facebook as well?
Yeah, you could do it in groups specifically, or you can do it on your page, or
That's awesome.
makes it a lot easier.
Beautiful. Okay. Okay, let me mute this. Now that's muted, so that's good.
Mhm.
Can I still hear you though?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, good. Awesome. Beautiful. Now let's go live on Insta and then you'll join in on Insta.
Yep.
Okay. And then whenever you get there, we will. Okay, we're live. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining today's discussion. Super excited to share space with the wonderful Selomon, who's got his beautiful Bring Me to Life Network project and does so many wonderful meditations and a lot of other really beautiful things on his channel. So we're going to meet with him today and allow him to discuss his new project that he's working on. Oh, okay, there we go. Did we get that? Okay, good. And yeah, we're gonna let him talk about his 8-week course, the creative and divine expression course. So before we get started, let's go ahead and focus on our breath and find our grounding. So if you guys are here with me now, feel free to you can place your hands over your heart if you'd like, or wherever is comfortable in this now moment. And let's take a nice deep breath in together. Breath in and exhale, allowing your shoulders to drop on the exhale. And we'll take one more nice deep breath in, expanding our lungs, filling our body with peace. Breath in and release. Beautiful. Let's take one more nice inhale and release. Bringing our attention to the center of our body within our hearts, allowing our space to be filled with peaceful, loving energy, connecting with our breath, finding peace in our body, and allowing our minds to be at ease. Beautiful. And I'd like you to invite in this moment anything that can bring you calm, peace to your soul. Imagine yourself in a big hug next to someone you love. And just imagine the feeling you get when you're in these spaces. And we're going to take one more nice deep breath, and I invite you to breathe in that energy. Breath in. And on the exhale, release all tension or anxieties you might feel in this now moment. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your knees and come back to this now moment. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Sila, for joining in today. And I'm so excited to hear all about your program. Divine expression is so important. So go ahead and tell us what all are you working on? What are you bringing forward with this space?
Mhm. Yes. I've never done the Instagram and YouTube live, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, if
Am
you
I
just
echoing? Can you hear me echoing?
a little, yeah. So if you turn the volume all the way down on your phone on the Instagram, then that should negate the echo.
Can you hear me echoing now? Hmm.
No, yeah,
Sorry.
definitely. Oh. Oh my goodness. It's something that's happened on lives before, and I don't, do you have a headset that you might be able to plug into the phone or?
Yeah, I'll have to go get it, so
Okay.
give me 1 minute and I'll be right back.
Awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, we're working on connecting with our ability to just flow in the moment, and yeah, working on the echo. We're gonna have to look into this because this is now the third time this has happened. So I'm gonna take a moment and just say thank you guys so much for showing up today and for holding beautiful space. Hi, Morphic. Hi, Hannah. It's lovely to see you guys. Thank you so much for sharing this space. Hi, Chappers. Oh my goodness. It's good to see you. You're over here today. And Pisces, Amanda, lovely to see you all. So excited for today. I know it's so important to be able to just express ourselves in whatever way we can and really connecting with the ability to do so. So yeah, just staying fluid. We're flowing like water today, Silo.
Am I still echoing?
No echoing at all. The
Well,
echo is gone. So.
okay. Yeah, I have an iPhone and it would not let me turn it all the way down, but that's okay. Thank you, first of all, for having me. I really appreciate your energy, and since knowing you, you've really inspired me a lot. So
Oh, thank you.
it's a big honor to be here with you. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I am doing a 8 week experience with my divine partner Shin Shine and our astrology friend BP is her name. Hello, BP. We are combining all of our experiences, all of our knowledge on divine expression and, in particular, creativity, because I fully believe and have seen this in people who I've worked with say that creativity and spirituality are one and the same. There's not one without the other. And that's something I feel, I want to allow everybody to have their own beliefs and their own experiences. And that's a big part of the space that we hold with people is allowing them to kind of explain or create or define what divinity really means to them instead of us telling them, what we think it is to us.
Ah, okay. I think if I mute it while you're talking, it'll negate the echo. So I'll work with that. But thank you, Brendan, for letting us know the echo aspect of the multiple platforms. But yeah, divine expression and spirituality really do go hand in hand, especially whenever you are working through any of the harder moments. I know for myself that anytime I'm feeling kind of low or not able to express myself fully in whatever experience I'm working through, I find a lot of peace in being able to express myself through painting and utilizing the colors that are really, you know, flowing with the energy that I want to work with, or just being able to create an image that connects with what's going on in my mind and bringing that forward, and just allowing myself to play too, because a lot of the times I'll find if I get really rigid in my spirituality and I'm like, I've got to do things this way, and I lose that flow state. Whenever I open myself back up to the creativity that I can, that I'm able to reconnect with that flow state and play with it in a way that's very safe and you know connected with my own being. So
Yeah, I like that you use the word flow state. That's something that we also get into in the program. Um, but it is very healing. There's a lot of trauma. Can you still hear me? There's a lot of trauma in this world and on this earth, and you know creativity is such a magical and beautiful way to heal through that. And it's something I think we all are able to do. Some people might think they're not creative, and that's part of the trauma, is thinking that they they aren't able to do this, or there's imposter syndrome. That's a big thing with people in creativity. And so working through that, working with that, um, we can get to a place where there might be a lot going on within us, might be a lot going on around us, but at least we can put it into something rather than just keep it in our minds and let that build up, and it creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. And it's a good reliever. Just I like to write personally, and being able to write down. I wrote down a trauma that I've had in a past life, and that was so healing. I was able to release so much from that, just writing it down. And I just love helping people, and this is the way that I think I can help people, is to work through the trauma, to be able to open that creativity back up, and to kind of experiment and have fun and play around with different ways of doing it. Because I think a lot of the people who are coming to the program now have things that they're already doing, but they also want to grow and expand. And so we have some activities, we have some things to do at home for people to kind of get outside their comfort zone and to expand a little bit with their creativity.
I really am glad that you brought up the imposter syndrome, because I know for myself, it's really easy to get into a place of, you know, oh, I'm not a writer. I don't know how to write. What am I going to do if I'm going to sit down and journal? But having that space and saying it's okay to be whatever kind of writer you need to be, and then being able to see that you are creating a space for people to connect with these parts of themselves is truly beautiful, Silo. So in your program, are you creating like activities for them to be able to do in their own space after the program as well?
So we have a few different options for people to do, because we know people have things going on in their lives. So there's an on-demand option when they can go at it at their own pace, and some live options where they can join us for Zoom calls and even possibly get one-on-ones with the teachers. Um, but with the live and on-demand, I made it so that in the workbook there's a list of the activities that we'll do in the group for the live option. But then it kind of outlines it for people on demand to post in a Facebook group that we have created, so that they can also, participate. And hopefully we can just, keep, sharing that stuff. Like we have a writing activity where people kind of build onto something that each other has written. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to share that with the on-demand people in the Facebook group, where they can post, something creative, and then somebody can, add on to that, and then we can, get that going. So, there's a lot of different options, but I really wanted to make it inclusive for everybody, so that even if you weren't able to join the Zoom, you could still participate, in what we were doing.
I love that you have a Facebook group too, so that way you guys can really integrate the conversation. Because I know a lot of the times, whenever I've experienced workshops, I'll have so much that I learned from the workshop, and then I'll move into my own spaces and I'm like, oh, but I have these thoughts that have come to me afterwards. So that's really great that you're creating a space for people to be able to come together and share their weekly goals, or whatever it is that they're working on, and how they are connecting with their creative expressions. So
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Yeah, I think me, myself, Shannon, our friend VP, we're all really beautiful space holders, and our vibe is just, very similar. It's very open. Like I said at the beginning, we want people to have space to feel comfortable in healing and acknowledging and sharing trauma, and getting over any kind of blockages, and also really getting into these activities and being able to not have to worry about being judged or worry about saying the wrong thing or anything like that. Just, I think that helps to open up the flow of creativity, is having that safe space. So I'm really grateful that you said that. And Yeah, hopefully that's something that will come off for the people who participate in the 8-week experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're providing the opportunity to kind of discuss the traumas or the triggers, and then providing a creative outlet to express these through. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know not everybody will do the program, but we've done like podcasts, kind of covering some of the information we will dive deep into in the program and the experience. And we've done a few live events. Shannon and I just did a live event yesterday where it was like a little writing activity. We helped people to journal about some things, and then we had people create a little story, something new, something creative. We gave them a few words that they could write about, and it was really fun.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I know you and Shannon hold some of the most beautiful spaces. I love the sound healing ceremonies that you all do on Facebook. I always catch them on the replay. So yeah, super beautiful. And
Thank
giving
you.
people the opportunity to connect with their creativity, but you guys are really creating a foundation for them. So it's like if you're not already somebody who is creative, if you're somebody who's just like, I'm just looking for an outlet for my expressions, you guys are really setting it up for people to be able to have different options and giving them a basis of, hey, here's some journal prompts, or here's some activities we can do. So did you
hmm
want to talk about any of the activities that you have planned?
hmm I surely can. We have 8 weeks, so each week is a different topic, and we'll do a different activity each week. So the first week, we're going to do a really nice opening ceremony and an agreement for the group. So we'll kind of come together as a group, create an agreement for everybody to feel safe, to feel more comfortable. And then we'll do an activity where people will get to write out like a little contract, for the program for themselves. So we'll have like a little basic outline for them to go off of, but they'll get to like create a little contract. I feel like it'll make it a little more, I don't know, magical. It gives a little flair to, I guess, the ceremony.
No,
So that,
absolutely.
yeah.
You give them the opportunity to connect with their own desires and where they want to see themselves moving forward. And I think that's really powerful to be able to give somebody the opportunity to say, I'm going to do this for me, and I'm creating this. So it gives them the ownership. It really puts the power back into their hands, as opposed to being like, I'm the facilitator, I'm giving this to you. It's no, I'm a participant and I am creating this space just as much as everybody else here is. So
Mm,
yes.
yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, but that's like the part of the agreements is, we really want to make it like a safe space where everybody feels heard, where everybody feels equal.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know in my experience, working with trauma especially has been super powerful whenever I do find those creative outlets. And so I just want to say, like, first of all, thank you so much for creating a space where people can come and share with honesty and open, and knowing that they're going to be held with love and appreciation and non-judgment, because I do know that you and Shannon create absolutely beautiful spaces that are full of just unconditional love. So, and then to be able to say, hey, we've talked about this trauma, we've gone over this experience, now let's find a way to channel these emotions. Let's figure out a place that we can put this energy, that it's going to create something good. And then I know, even for myself, whenever I do this, then I have a physical thing that I can look at and say, here's this painting that I created that is a channel of my emotions. And it helps remind me of my strength, of my power. As I walk through my day, I'm able to see that piece and say, that was really healing for me. And so,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes, I like that a lot. We have it set up so, I think channeling is a big part of the experience, in terms of us kind of explaining it in different ways of channeling. And I believe that channeling is like, just allowing energy to flow through. And in my perspective, I see two main types of channeling, and that's unconscious and conscious channeling. And when you're unconscious of what you're channeling, then you're not really, you could be going against maybe what the divine will would be, or maybe what you dream of, or what you wish to accomplish. And because we have free will, it's a thing that we can decide not to do what we know is right for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I think it's really important that you're doing the contract at first, because you're saying, I choose out of my free will to participate in this and to actively work on my healing. And so I think that's going to really set people up to be able to better connect with themselves in a way that's going to help them show up. Because I know it's easy to sign up for a program and be like, all good intentions, right? But then you don't follow through with it. And it's because you don't have any of your own emotions invested into it yet. And so yeah, I think that's going to be really powerful to have that free will choice of saying, I choose to show up today. I choose to work on my healing. I choose to find a healthy channel for these emotions and for these, processes moving forward. And giving people the option to be able to have these tools moving forward into their own spaces is going to be really powerful as well.
Mm-hmm. You explain that so nicely. That might be like stuff we'll have to add into it, but yeah, it's a real thing to begin to take responsibility for what you're creating in your life, and through this program, we're helping people to be more conscious of what they're channeling and hopefully direct it into a way that is healing, into a way that is creative, into something that they can call divine expression.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, are you guys going to have any kind of sound healing expression sessions where you do some dance or movement?
We probably will have that in there. I've been thinking of doing some ecstatic dances for for a while, and hopefully 2021 will begin to get those going, and there will be some music that will go over in the program, and we'll have videos in the web portal for people to experience different ways of channeling through music, and you know I'm sure we'll have the singing bowls out for many of the groups.
That's beautiful. I know it's something that I actually didn't really connect with until here recently, and it was because of Sifu Bagi's and I's live where we talked about the flow of energy and using qigong, and I think we did the willow tree exercise, and then we did the hip one. I don't know exactly what it's called. Like moving our hips around, and from there I was like, wow, like I can really utilize this in my dancing. And so in my own expression of my own passions I do at home, I work on utilizing my energy, my feminine energy, through creative dance. And so just being able to channel that energy into my body and really being able to connect with it in a physical sense, feeling that energy as it moves through, as I dance and as I move, and the empowerment that I get from it whenever I do this. It's like really owning that energy and calling it into my space and being able to work with it then moving forward, because the divine feminine energy is all about creation, right? And
Mhm.
so yeah, whenever you connect with it in a very physical form and then being able to find that channel for it. And I like that you mentioned healthy channels as well, because there are so many ways to channel, right? There really are. There are all the different venues you can use to channel your energy through, and as humans, I think it's important for us to honor and acknowledge and love the emotions that we have that are not so great. Sometimes we feel anger, and that's okay to feel anger or sadness or frustration or whatever negative emotion that you might be experiencing, and being able to understand that whenever you see these emotions as something that is part of your soul and bring it into your body through the creative expression, you now hold power over this emotion as opposed to this emotion holding power over you. And so that's why I think this program is going to be really empowering for people, because you're really helping them call their power back to themselves.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm really grateful that you actually said that it's okay to experience whatever you're experiencing. I have learned through some a lot of lessons that that you don't need to be happy and go lucky and high vibe. We like to say all the time. Um, this is, when I've gone through a lot of awakenings, I'm realizing now it's like just like a continuous process, a continuous refinement. And through my early awakenings, I didn't understand it's okay to have pain in my body, because I was like, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna feel good all the time.
Mhm.
And so you saying that, I'm really grateful because it's a big lesson and something I want to get better at acknowledging and letting people know that it's all okay.
Yeah, no, it's been a huge lesson for me as well, CeeLo. That's why I mention it, because it's like, especially as somebody who really does try to show up with that high vibe, positive attitude, it's like it's really important. In order for me to show up with a positive attitude, I have to accept and acknowledge the negative parts of my being, because I am human and I am all of these things. I am happy, I am sad, I am angry, I am excited, and whenever I accept all of these parts of myself as part of me, rather than saying, I only want to feel the happy, I don't want to feel the sad, I've created discord in my body. But whenever I accept them and I say, I accept the fact that I'm upset about this, and I give it the proper energy that it deserves, it allows it to flow and then release. And so I'm no longer holding on to that anger. I've accepted it. I've given it the energy that it deserves, and then I've allowed it to flow from my space. And I know for me anyways, the biggest part of the process of release is through the creation, the expression, whether it's ecstatic dance, or creating a piece of art, or even sometimes just going for a walk or a run. Look, sometimes I'll go through the woods and I'll go for a hike and I'll just sing at the top of my lungs. It's all I feel bad, okay, if you guys don't like Disney, because you're gonna hear Disney songs while you're on a hike with me, but I end up feeling so much better by the time it's done. And it's like all I did was give my body the opportunity to release that. And
Mhm.
if you're struggling, and I just say this for anybody listening, like if you're struggling with accepting those negative emotions, those negative feelings, honor them, give them their space. You don't have to wallow in it. There's a difference. Like, don't stay there forever, but just give it
Mhm.
its space, give it its honor. And a lot of the times too, you can ask your negative emotions, what do you need, what can I give you right now? And a lot of the times it simply needs to be expressed. It does.
Mhm.
You'll find a lot of peace comes from just expressing those energies. So yeah.
Mhm. When you're in the woods singing, do you notice birds following you or anything?
Yeah, the rabbits and the squirrels, they all run through.
You're like your own Disney princess movie.
Yes, pretty much. I'm like Pocahontas and Snow White combined as I hike with my dogs.
I love your dogs. I love hearing them in the mornings.
With the fairies like floating in the backs of the trees too.
That is awesome. I love that. I think the woods so healing, so powerful.
Yeah.
And if people want to sing, even I think you sing beautifully. Like you can hold a note. Um,
Thank you.
some people don't sing because they feel they can't hold a note. But in the woods, like the trees aren't gonna yell at you and tell you you're not singing right.
Exactly. There's no judgment in the woods. They all love you.
I think nature is so cool and so magical. I remember when I was playing ukulele once, a bird came and just watched me for like 10 minutes, and it was like these living creatures are so magical, and mm, it's like music really is a universal language where even birds, all kinds of creatures, animals, whales, like
Oh
they
my
all
God.
communicate through sound and music.
Yes. And it really goes to just show how powerful our words are, our vibrations. Everything is a vibration. But whenever you add that extra energy to bring that vibration into the physical world through your voice, the power it holds, it's pretty incredible. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
know I'm glad you brought up whales too, because I think it's so amazing. Whales can communicate with each other from so far away, just through using their vibration, their energy. And I think too that that is the same for humans, because CeeLo, I've never actually met you physically, but I can feel your energy, I can feel your vibration. And so understanding that like energy is limitless, right? Like
Mhm.
it goes wherever it needs to go. And so yeah, connecting
Mhm.
with it's really beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah, time and space are subjective, possibly.
Yes, 100%. And actually, Sifu Bogi suggested creating with my energy. So bringing that energy back into the creative expression and learning to actually paint with the flow of my energy helped me create some of the most beautiful pieces I've ever even seen myself do. It was like a whole nother level, because rather than working with the friction of the trauma that I was holding in my body and not wanting to allow myself to express in whatever way I wanted. So, for example, let's say I sit down to create a painting and I'm like, okay, I want to paint a tree, but then I go to start painting and I want to use purples and pinks. Rather than telling myself, no, you can't use purple and pink because that's not what color a tree is, allowing myself to just create and then seeing the beauty that comes from it because I allowed it to be just whatever divine expression needed to be in that moment.
Mhm. I have a tree that I painted, been working on for a while, but it has some pink in it.
That's awesome. I would love to see it. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you can paint. I think painting and being creative I think is so exciting to me because the only thing that limits you is your imagination. Like you can literally create any kind of universe, any kind of planet, any kind of anything. Like it's just so expansive and so much space, and like it's just so amazing to me. It's kind of profound how we have access to do and create like anything.
It really is like anything. You can, let's say you're going about your day and you're like, I want to create something, but I don't have arts and crafts materials. Look around your house. You might be surprised what you'll find
Mhm.
laying around that you can just create with. I know
Mhm.
I was working on, I really wanted to create fairy homes. This is like a phase I went through because I love the Fae. You guys know me. I love the Fae. And
I
I
got a
wanted,
fairy jar from you.
yeah, the fairy, yes, the fairy jar, which I'm so grateful you guys got. Shannon sent me that picture. It made my heart so warm to see it in her little setup and just be,
Yes.
it found its home
Mhm.
perfectly.
That's awesome.
But I was like, I really wanted to create fairy homes. And so I wanted to create a fairy door and I didn't have the proper materials. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go out into the woods and find whatever calls to me. And I found a piece of driftwood that was just perfect and it had a hole in the middle. And so I was like, okay, cool. What can I do with this? I brought it home. I got out my paints and I just started playing. I literally just played with it. I didn't hold any expectations. I just said, you know what, Kristen? Play and have fun and express yourself however you want. And it turned out really beautiful. It ended up being this like really pretty intricate like fairy door that had, ivy and moss, and I found some leaves and some sticks and just turned it into this creation where it was originally I had nothing, right? So
Mhm.
opening yourself up to seeing that magic is all around you, right? You can find creativity in anything. It's about connecting with what fills your heart, what fills your soul.
Mhm. Yeah, and the universe will always provide. I think it's funny how we have this dream or this goal or this inspiration come to us, and then for some reason we start to make all kinds of excuses for why we're not able to do that. When we know that the universe will provide, like God will provide, whatever you want to call it. Everything is always there for us. Um, one of my friends was trying to say she couldn't do this art project because she didn't have the paint to do it. And Shannon told her to just go for a walk and just trust that everything will be fine. And she went for a walk and literally found like acrylic paint in a random spot for her to like do her art project. So um, when you kind of let go of excuses, you let go of thinking you can't do it because of this reason or that reason. then you just put your faith knowing that you will be able to do it. And, sometimes it doesn't happen exactly when you think it needs to happen, but it'll always happen when it should happen, when it's supposed to happen. And I love to just say divine timing, when we're like stuck behind a bunch of traffic. I try to imagine that it's like maybe it's saving me from something that could have happened that, I wouldn't want. So I'm trying to like trust in divine timing. Um,
I'm so grateful you brought up divine timing because that is something that is really truly dear to my heart. And I know that it can be misinterpreted as, oh, well, you're waiting on divine timing. And it's like, no, I'm aligned with my divine timing. I like to think about it as everything that's happening in this now moment is exactly as it should be for my highest good and for everyone's highest good. Maybe it's not where I want it to be. Maybe it's not exactly being expressed in the direction that I want to go. But I've found that whenever there is something that's happening that's like, I know in divine time I'm going to be at this particular place, but right here I'm still over here. I'm not there yet. It's because there's some lesson that I still need to learn. There's wisdom that I have to overcome. There's probably trauma that still needs to be expressed and released from my body. And so
mhm.
just being on, just honoring that and being gentle with yourself. And I'll bring it back to your program. That's why I think that spaces like this are so important, because allowing yourself the opportunity to express whatever it is that needs to be expressed to help align yourself with your timeline, and saying, hey, right now maybe I don't know what my divine expression looks like, maybe I don't know how to be creative, but I'm going to give myself the opportunity to try and to meet with these amazing souls who hold lovely space, that are just going to hold no judgment and give me opportunities to find what works with me, and get that creative juices flowing. And so, and there's all kinds of stuff happening around the world of people opening up. And so I just encourage anybody that could be listening right now that if you're struggling with your healing, with your path, with just wherever you're at right now, understand that you are loved. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and there is opportunities wherever you choose to go to be able to connect with that healing, and it's going to be there for you, arms open wide, unconditional love whenever you're ready. So
Yes, I like that.
yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to be on here and sharing what we're doing. And yeah, like I said, you're very inspiring to me and Shannon. So it's an honor to be able to come here. And I'd like to give everybody watching 25% off one of our live options if they mention that they watched this, um, just to say thank you. And I've seen a lot of friends in the chat on Instagram, and Camilla's been commenting a lot. Been watching all your comments, so thank you, Camilla, for for all those.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I adore being able to connect with beautiful souls. Silo, you have just, since the day I met you, you have been absolutely kind and loving and inspiring in my own ways. The first meditation I ever created, you created magic for me and helped me to see the light that I shine in such a beautiful way. And I truly appreciate you, and Shannon, her beautiful soul. I love all the work she does, and I just think you guys are really creating some pretty amazing spaces. And your meditations that you put on YouTube they're beautiful. They're so healing, and they're great. They're like not crazy long. They're perfect time. If you want to go to the long ones, he's got long ones too. Like, it's whatever you're trying to connect with. Silo's got it on his page too, which is that Selomon official on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
I'll connect the link down below. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, I'll be sure to have Silo's link to his YouTube down in the comments below the video. So, but yeah, you guys are beautiful, creating lovely spaces. And yeah, I love all the people in the chat, everybody that's held space today. Chapper is one of my new friends. Thank you so much for sharing space. And Chappers, I just want to point out, he mentioned being able to resonate with music and creating from his emotions. And Chappers and I were actually talking about being able to work with music and healing, and how just being able to create music or meditate with music can be so healing. And it was funny because whenever it first was brought up, it was like, is this even a thing that I can do? And it's like, yes, this is a thing you can do. Do it. If that's what makes your heart sing, it's like whatever brings your heart happiness, whatever brings you joy, truly, not what somebody else says brings you joy or what somebody says should bring you joy, but whatever actually really truly does bring you joy is also going to bring you healing and the opportunity for healing. So yeah, just understanding that music is 100% a way to channel your emotions. And it's like I said, I'm out singing in the woods because I'm like feeling my feelings through through my songs. And so sometimes at the top of my lungs, very loud, and it's fine.
If I would hear that, I would think I would be in like a movie. Is that even real? What is going on?
I definitely had somebody today actually that was running at the bottom of the trail, and I was at the top of the hill, and I'm singing. I think I was singing Moana. I'm pretty sure it was the Let It Go song. Okay, so in that song, there's the part where she like really belts it out. Totally belting it out for the world, even though I thought he was there. And then this guy is just jogging along, enjoying his hike, and he looks up at me and he just keeps jogging, like didn't even give me 2 seconds for this thought. But it was really healing for me because I'm over here like I immediately see him and I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody heard me singing in the woods, like they're gonna think I'm weird. He didn't care, he was doing his thing, so I think understanding people don't always judge you as harshly as you judge yourself.
Yeah, I would like to think so. Most people, I think, as long as you're not like hurting anybody or damaging stuff, then for the most part, I feel like they would just be like, oh, in their own thing. I'd like to let people have their own space, have their own feelings, have their own beliefs, even if they disagree with me. And I like to coexist peacefully and lovingly with people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Honoring that everybody has their own truth, and we can coexist together with our own.
Yeah, definitely. Big world, big galaxy out there,
Huge galaxy, and there's so many things that you can vibe with. There's a lot of wisdom out there to open up and understand. And so yeah, if you come across some information that doesn't vibe with you, that's okay. Accept your truth and find what does. I think a lot of people are in a place where it's like they hold so many expectations about things. And I'll bring it back to meditation. Like I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, if you meditate, you have to be sitting still with your hands in your mudras and everything quiet. And it's like, I find a lot of my best meditations are out hiking in the woods, or one of my coaches the other day actually encouraged me to meditate while doing the dishes. And I'm going to tell you, it was one of the most powerful meditations I've had because I simply was just present. And I wouldn't have been able to give myself that opportunity if I didn't sit in a space with no expectations. It's easy to go into things with saying, I expect it to look this way. I know that I'm going to act this way, or I know I've got to show up in this way. But whenever you choose to rather show up in a space holding no expectations, you really allow the magic to happen and perform and just show up. And so I send you guys so much love for your program. I'm so excited about it. It's just going to be absolutely beautiful. And I know you guys are going to do great. And you're going to help change people's lives. Like just one little tiny step at a time, people's lives are going to change because you guys are holding this space. And so huge shout out to you and Shannon and your other beautiful friend holding this amazing space and putting on the ability for people to be able to find their creative expression. And for anybody who's hearing this message, if you're thinking about joining, Silo is amazing. The spaces he holds are very, very warm and loving. And so just know that you're going to be met with open arms and that no judgment. So
thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for saying that.
And thank you for meeting with me today. I would love to do another live with you. I know Shannon and I are in the works of talking about getting together for one too. So
yeah,
lots of topics we can discuss for sure moving forward.
Now we know how it goes. I feel like we got the audio down. We're
Yes,
solid.
yes.
Worked out really well. I'm really, really grateful that you allowed me to come onto your channel. I think you're a great channel for the divine, for spirit, for really healing energy for the planet. So
Thank you, sweetheart. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that.
yes, of course.
I try to share love. I try to share love with everybody. I think you guys are all amazing, divine, unique souls. And I'll take a moment too for anybody that's listening right now. I'm in the second week of my own healing program that I'm offering, where we are going over all kinds of opportunities to connect with healing. We're working on finding our true self, practicing self-love, connecting with our inner child and our shadows, learning how to work with these energies, embracing them and embodying them, and moving forward with love and compassion and action. And so if you guys are interested in any of these things, this is something that I'm holding space for the next 6 weeks. We did have our very first course this last Sunday, which was about finding our true selves. And it was absolutely beautiful to be able to connect with that and share that space with people. So I'm really excited. This upcoming week is self-love and finding those self-love practices, which is why this broadcast we're in right now really flows very well with that, because the main ways that I find I express my self-love is through creativity and expression. And so, it's all about finding what works best for you and then doing it, and finding that love and support to be able to show up and do it for yourself, because it's like at the end of the day, it's all for you. And whenever you work on embodying that healing and bringing that peace within your soul, you share that peaceful energy with the people you experience. You share that peaceful energy with the spaces you hold. So every tiny little bit of work that you do, I promise you, it ripples out tenfold into the spaces you move forward to. So even if you might feel like your work is not taking you exactly where it wants to go, understand and appreciate that, yes, all is in divine time and you are exactly where you need to be. And every tiny bit of work that you do, it's making a big difference. It really is. It's just the ripple effect that comes from there that you'll be able to see. So
Love it. You say things with such grace and elegance.
I appreciate it. I'm super excited. This is a journey I have been really looking forward to pushing for a while, to be able to connect and share. So yes.
I wish you luck on your program as well. It sounds awesome, and I'm like so pumped to hear for the planet that you're doing what you're doing, and we're doing what we're doing, and we're like a team, So
Yeah. Absolutely. That's it. We're all just one big family. We're all just one, working towards that main goal of love and healing and happiness. And, it's about creating the spaces for people to find what works best for them and what connects with them. And so, yeah, the healing you're doing, I'm sure, will ripple out, and the healing I'm doing will ripple out. And then those people will ripple their own healing. And, someday we can maybe live in a world where we're all a little bit more at peace and at one with ourselves and with each other.
Yes, I think that's a beautiful vision.
All right, love. Do we have anything else we would like to discuss, or did we want to end in a meditation? I don't have anything prepared, but we could.
I guess I would just invite people to our Facebook group, the Bring Me to Life community with the number 2. That's where we're doing all of our live events and stuff. Hello to the doggy.
Leia's really excited about your Facebook group too. So.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you. I was really hoping she would make an appearance.
She did, yes. You can't see her, but she's perched very nicely next to me, sitting very prestigious in her So yeah, connect with CeeLo and his Facebook group. CeeLo, if you want, pass me the links and I will make sure everything is linked down below in the YouTube video. So if you guys are catching this on YouTube, please do feel free to connect with CeeLo and all the amazing stuff he's putting forward. It's going to be super great. I believe you said it begins January 11th. So that is coming up. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to reach out to him and get connected. So
Yes, it's available on demand as well. So anytime after.
Awesome. That's amazing. So awesome. If you don't catch it by the 11th, you can find it in your own divine timing.
Yeah, exactly. Love that. It's really
Beautiful.
nice. Yeah.
All right, love. Well, I hope you enjoy your evening, and thank you so much for holding beautiful space with me as always. And I send you so much love for your program, and everybody that chooses to join. Send you guys so much love as well. And thank you all for joining us today. This has been really beautiful. All
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
right. Bye. End on. Okay, and then we'll end on YouTube.